Hi friends, how are you? I'm doing good. I'm moving stuff around here on my desk so I can put you over here towards the light. How are things going? We have another coffee and conversation tonight, and well, I guess it's not tonight, it's this afternoon. My days are all messed up, y'all. Um, I see that Nikki is on. Hold on, I think she has requested and it's connecting. We shall see. So let me know, how has your day been? How are you doing?
Hey,
Hey
Hannah.
friend, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm gonna turn my volume up so I can hear
Yeah.
you.
Hopefully you can hear me okay. I have my headphones in. I don't know if
Yes,
that's working. Yeah.
that's a pretty picture behind you. I love the sunflowers.
Oh, thanks.
It matches your name.
It does. I love sunflowers, obviously. So,
Love it. I love it. Well,
yeah.
welcome. Welcome.
Thanks.
How has your day been so far?
It's been great actually. Yeah, I actually have the afternoon off, so it's nice. I've been crazy the past few weeks with work, so yeah, it's nice to have the afternoon off, and it's a great day for it. So,
Oh, good, because it's freezing here. So we have been stuck
oh,
inside all day, and my kids are going crazy. They're like, "Let me outside!"
oh no.
It's
Yeah.
all good.
It's hard this time of year, like or this I guess in this season I should say, with the kids have
It's
so much energy, right? And they just get trapped inside and it's like, like, let me
yeah,
out.
it's weird because it's not like some days are spring. So we're in Nashville, Tennessee,
Oh,
and
okay.
where are you at again?
We're actually in Toronto.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
and so it's cold. It isn't it cold there?
It's about 5 degrees. It's not cold for us. We're used to cold. Like we're just coming out of winter, so
No, that's
five
not.
degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit, to be fair.
So, anyways, yeah, no, no, I'm good. Give me the beach, give me the warm weather. I don't do that. So yeah. I guess I can't complain about the cold because that's really cold.
It's Canada. We're
It's
used to
cold
it over here.
it's cold to us. That's so funny. Well, I want to introduce you because y'all know that my heart is for mamas and mamas in business. And so I just absolutely love bringing other moms on who are just an expert in their field and have wisdom that I don't have that can be shared to you guys. So, with that being said, I want you to introduce Nikki. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, so I want to hear about your business, about what you do, why you're here, all the things.
For sure. So, I, as you said, Nikki, I'm a wife, mama to a very sweet but feisty three-age girl. I say three-age because she might as well be a teenager already. I'm also the owner of Sunflowers in Sunshine, so that's my business name, which is a holistic life coaching business. And when I say holistic, I mean like kind of mind, body, soul, the whole thing, because I think that just really taking care of the entire person is what's important. So that's why I say holistic. And really, what the goal of my business is to inspire and empower women to like make transformational change in their lives and to kind of step into their power and become their very best and happiest selves and just live a life that they ultimately love.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
So, what made, because you had just previously talked about you are working, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you have two jobs?
Yes. So I'm working full time. I actually am a manager and operations manager and inside sales manager for a cybersecurity company, which is still actually booming right now, thankfully. But in addition to that, I have the business on the side, building a life coaching business, and it's something that I'm actually so passionate about. So yeah.
So, what made you want to go into business for yourself and even turn this side hustle, this passion into a business and go forward with it?
For sure. So actually there's a lot of reasons why, but I think first and foremost, I got to this place in my life where I realized that I was like extraordinarily frustrated and agitated all the time. And I was snapping at my husband and I was snapping at my kid. And I was just like, oh my God, like, what is wrong with me? You know? And I had this realization that I was so dissatisfied in my life. And there was like this flood of shame in that, to realize that I had, done all the right things. Like, how could I be anything but grateful? And I was, of course, grateful, but that didn't take away from what I was feeling, right? And so just sort of wrestling with that idea to start with, and realizing that I was dissatisfied because I wasn't feeling fulfilled in my job. And I think that was a really hard realization because, again, like, I had done all the right things. I climbed the corporate ladder, like I was making everyone proud and I was making decent money. And it was like, well, why shouldn't I be like happy with this, right? But what's always been on my heart since I was pretty young is doing something to help people. And so I had, experimented with that 100 different ways, but I could just never find the thing that made me money and made me happy. And so then I was in this place where when I realized, like, oh my gosh, so the reason why I'm so dissatisfied is that I am unfulfilled. Then realizing, like, well, what am I going to do about that? Like, I am stuck. I can either have a job I love or I can make money. So what am I going to do, right? And so I think at that point, I really started to like dig into the personal development stuff even more because I've always been passionate about that. I've always been like a self-development junkie, I call it myself. I've always just been so obsessed with that. But then I really started to dig into that more, and I realized that through coaching myself and like doing a lot of the work on myself in that area, that was something that I was so passionate about talking about with other people. And I had always been in my life kind of informally coaching people and helping people. I was always the one that people came to when they had problems and stuff like that, right? And I didn't even realize that life coaching was a thing, to be honest. And so when I stumbled upon that, I was like, oh my God, like, this is it. It was like, like angels singing, like, light shining on me,
Almost
like,
like when we
oh.
put things together.
Yeah, it just like it was this realization, this aha, like this epiphany, like, oh my God, this is it. And a realization that everything in my life had sort of led me to that moment in that place where like all the skills that I'd gained in like all these seemingly different unrelated places, how they could all play into doing this. So that was part of the reason why I got into this, to try and pursue something that I loved. Because prior to that, again, just feeling like it had to be either or, and the realization that it could be and more, like I could have both. I didn't have to choose. And then wanting to spend more time with my kid because I commute into the city every day, and how much time that was like eating up in my life, and just feeling like I was like running on a treadmill all the time, just exhausted, but not going anywhere, not knowing where I wanted to go. And then finally, when I realized what it was, I was like, all right, I have to go after this, right?
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you. Like those same conversations me and my husband have been having for a while now. And we finally got to this point where we're all like, no, like, we're going to do this. Like, we're going to make it happen. And it may be a short term sacrifice now for the long term game that we're wanting. But when you do look at that and you look at your priorities and you look at the commute times and you look at like all that
Mm-hmm.
goes into really giving yourself away to grow somebody else's business. And I'm just going to
I
call it
know.
what it is because
Yeah,
it is.
exactly.
And it's just, it makes you think about things differently. And it makes you think
Mm-hmm.
about, like, hey, really, why am I doing what I'm doing? And does this line up to my priorities? And yeah,
Yeah.
in that, like, you even said that was a hard realization
Yeah.
for you to come to. And I think that there's power um, in doing that hard work. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that there is, and it's never fun to grow. Like, I mean, that's why they're called growing.
I know. Growing
Um,
pains, right?
but it's so needed though too.
Yeah.
And I think that when we do stop and we be still and we hear like what we are supposed to be doing, like I said a quote, I didn't mean it to be a quote, but I keep saying it, and so I'm like, okay, this is turning into a quote. Is you never know what's going to happen when you stop and be still. You don't know what um, when you're I forgot how I even worded it now, but basically, like when you're stopping and you're being still, you never know what kind of ideas God is going to download inside you. And I
Yeah.
think that there's just power in that, and especially like really in the time frame that we're at right now.
Hmm.
I know some people are a lot busier. I'm one of those people, but there's other people who are very um, not as busy because of whatever reason, and so that this is such a pivotal moment to be still, and
Hmm.
so yeah, I love that.
It's so beautiful. I love that. And it's actually, it goes into something I've been talking to my husband about recently. I said that I'm going to stop calling this like quarantine or social distancing or social isolation. I'm going to start calling it the collective pause. That we're all just kind of hitting the pause button and like resetting our priorities and like resetting our expectations and realizing like what do we really want in our lives, and are we living the lives that make us happy, and where are our priorities, and
Yeah,
what kind of normal do we want to go back to? You have a chance to readjust what your normal looks like when all this is over. So I just
I
think
love.
that's really beautiful.
You're right. I feel like this is a reset time. And I know like it's funny because I was saying how for me personally this is a busy season for me. But
Hmm.
literally 6 months prior to this, it was a very much be still, and nothing was like that was my be still. And I was still in that moment because they're like just the needle was not moving. And I'm like, what is going on? And I'd see like little puzzle pieces here and there. And I'm like, why can't I see the whole puzzle to all of this? And it's just interesting
Hmm.
of how everything just lines up. And
Yeah.
yes, and it's funny that you just even say that. Like we just got back from Lowe's because one of the things that we've wanted to do was forever we wanted to have a garden.
Oh, I love
We've
that.
never done that. I don't know, but we've never had a garden. And so we're all like, okay, we're going to have a salsa garden because I make salsa like every day. And
I love
so
salsa.
it's one of our weaknesses. Um, but to really go back to our priorities and to really think through like what do we want our normal to be,
Hmm.
and to
Exactly.
put that restart and right now and utilize this time as that self pause, really, like
So
what you were
true.
saying.
Yeah.
I love it. So with the transition, are you wanting to turn this side hustle into a full like your full-time
Yeah.
thing? Is that the big dream?
Exactly. So right now I'm just in kind of a building period, and it's a lot, honestly. Like so much to learn, and that's something that you don't really realize when you're kind of starting your own business. Like what for me, it wasn't just learning how to life coach, right? It's like all the other things that go into that.
Oh yeah, there's so much that goes into having a business and launching
Yeah.
a business, and I think there's so much value in it. Um,
Hmm.
but it's a long-term game. It's not an overnight game.
Yeah.
For sure. So with that, what are some of the big lessons that you have learned that you would like to share?
Okay. So actually kind of goes back to what I was just saying about how realizing that there was so much that I had to learn.
Mhm.
And that's something that I actually loved in my job, that I had sort of started that at that company really early, and I got to work in so many different areas. And so one of the things that appealed to me about um, starting my own business is realizing that I don't just have to learn life coaching. I have to learn sales, and I have to learn marketing. I have to learn all the like social media stuff, and like there's just so many different things that I had to learn. And so realizing that, I think realizing how much of a steep learning curve I had was one thing. And then I think the other really big thing was realizing how much I needed to like block my time and
Oh, good.
plan my time because of how much you have to do, right? And you have to be like super, super meticulous about it. Otherwise, it's like everything gets derailed, especially when you're like got a little one, right?
Yes. Yes. I was on a coaching call yesterday and that's what we were talking about. She was like, I'm just all over the place and I feel like I'm getting nothing done. And I'm like, okay, first off, write everything that you have to do and
Mm-hmm.
then assign it to certain days and then schedule it.
Yeah.
because if you're constantly getting pulled over here and then over here and then over here, you're not going to get anything done,
Yeah.
especially moms who have laundry to do and kids to feed and dinner to make, like,
I
all
know.
the
Yeah.
different things that go into it. Yes, scheduling is 1000% yes.
Yeah, it's so easy to get overwhelmed if you don't, right? And just like, or forget things because mom brain, like, I don't think you ever get that back, right? Like, once you get mom brain when you're pregnant, I'm like, I don't know if anyone else has that experience. Like, I never fully got it all back, where I was like, I
So
still
funny.
forget things all the time.
That's so funny. I go through phases where I feel like I can just conquer the world, and then I go through
Yeah.
other phases where I'm like, what did I do? Like, what did I get myself into?
hmm I
That's
call that like my superwoman complex, where I think I can do all the things and everything.
so
And I had to like slowly come to the realization that I can do everything, just not all at once.
yes. And give
Yeah,
yourself grace about that too. Like, it's
exactly.
okay
Yes.
not to get everything done today.
hmm
Like, you can space it out. What
Yeah.
this is totally like side rail, but do you know your Enneagram number?
Yeah. So I am a three wing too, actually.
Okay. Okay.
So also kind of a perfectionist and like feeling like I need to be like ready all the time. And so I'm like always in this like constant like learning mode. Like, am I perfect yet? Am I perfect? Is it, you
Yeah.
know? So
And
just
I think
also
that's cool
having
being
to,
three.
yeah. Sorry, what are you?
A three. The
You're a
same.
three as well? Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing to where it's like that constant. And I actually just wrote a post about this because I just hit this wall where on, I guess, Friday, Saturday, like I was on stories and I was just talking, and then all of a sudden, like I broke down crying, which is not me at all. And
Mm,
anybody who knows me, and then I'm like, I just haven't stopped to like soak everything in, like, because it's always what's next, what's next, what's next. And
yeah.
yeah,
You,
and so
you
which
get
is
so focused on doing, you kind of forget about being
yeah,
sometimes. And that's another thing that I've like really learned in my coaching is like trying to be more like present and intentional and like more focused on the being as well as the doing because I'm just such a doer, like this, then
yeah,
this, then this, and this. It makes you feel more in control, right?
that's good. So I feel like you kind of answered this question, but how do you balance all the things?
Yeah, so going back to kind of like being meticulous at managing my time and like I have Brenda Burchard's high performance planner is
Yeah,
it's my everything. I also love that it has like journal prompts, so it helps me kind of balance all of the areas of my life and be a little bit more intentional in my day. It's going to sound really unromantic, but I also kind of schedule time with my husband because I have so many things right now. It's like, okay, this is your night. This is my learning slash school night because I have like business stuff to do after my regular job, right? So that's something that's working for me right now. And that's not a forever thing. So we kind of understand that that's temporary. And then also, like, I don't know if you've heard of the Eisenhower matrix. So just like looking at kind of prioritizing. So, like, what's urgent and important gets done right away. What's important but not urgent, like, decide when it's going to be done. If it's neither, just toss it out. And if it's urgent but not important, can I automate it or delegate it? Or what can I do to get, and that actually goes back to like Dean's kind of not to do list.
I've been working on
Yes.
that. Like, so okay, to catch people up, we are doing a course together. Well, not like we're going through a course together,
Yes,
and
exactly.
one of the teachers in it, he talks about having a not to do list instead of a to do list, which we always, you always have a running to do list. But
Mm-hmm.
what is on your not to do list that you could delegate to other people or something else, or it's just not moving the needle in your business or your life, really? But
Yeah.
yet, it's what can we say no to?
Yes,
um,
exactly.
and yeah, that's something. It's so funny because I was thinking about that last night, and I was thinking about what are areas in my life, that just in my everyday life, but then
Mm-hmm.
in my business too, because I feel like, not that they go together, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, what do I not have to do? Like, what can I delegate to somebody else? And in some of that, it doesn't have to be paid too. Like, I'm going
Yeah.
to, there's when I'm working with, who she is brilliant at Pinterest. That is not a strong suit of mine. But I know
Mhm.
Instagram and she doesn't know Instagram. And so we're just trading services. But
Yes.
yes, both moving the needle in each other's businesses. And so I think there's such value in that. And I know we just kind of totally took a left turn there,
Yeah.
uh, you're right. But yeah, that was, and we just had the same conversation about like food and all of that. And can we outsource cooking? Like, I was like,
Yeah,
what
or
is
like
this?
like
So
those
like,
meal delivery services, right? Where like they come with all the stuff already for it
yeah.
and like takes all the planning and the thinking and the shopping out of it, right?
Mhm.
And when I was working full time and like not having a lot of time at home, plus all of this stuff, I was like, that was something I needed at certain points in my life where I had to be like, I literally cannot handle another thing on my plate right now. Like, how can I make more time or how can I find some like net time, like no extra time to like learn. So like listening to like the materials for my
Yeah.
course while I'm doing laundry or something, right? Just doing
And
all of those things.
I think what you said too, right, just a little bit ago was so key is that it's seasons. Just
Hmm.
because this is a certain season that you're in
Yeah.
does not mean that it's going to be like this forever. It could
No,
just
no, no.
be, okay, hey, I need somebody to meal prep for me so I could
Hmm.
get through this. And then, okay, in 3 months or a month, even when I'm done with whatever this is, okay, I can put that back on my plate. And I think it just,
Yeah.
and all of it goes back to what are your priorities and
Yes.
what are you doing in your everyday life to move the needle closer to your priorities? Um,
Hmm.
and I feel like everything just goes back to that. And
Yeah, it's constantly reevaluating the priorities, right? Because they're always changing, like even from day to day, So part of my like journaling or planning practice is like, what are my three priorities or what are three things I'm going to focus on today? Because that's the other thing, like feeling like you have a to-do list this long, it's like you feel
mm-hmm.
defeated before you even start, right?
Yeah,
So trying to figure out like what are the key things that I need to get done today and then like pushing into that. I feel more accomplished at the end of the day if I got those priority items done, right? Wherever they are. Maybe it's like spending more time with my kid or checking something off the business list, like whatever
yeah,
it is.
that's so good, so good. Um, well, we could talk on and on and on and on. Uh, but I
Sorry.
don't want to waste everybody's time, or take up everybody's time. Do you have any last things that you want to share with everybody?
Yeah, I think I just want to really make sure that everyone knows that I am trying to offer my services to anyone and everyone right now. I have such a great background in like coaching. I've taken two different kinds of coaching courses and like to be able to understand like habits and that like whole kind of practical aspect, but also like the emotional side and like the mental and emotional space that people might be in right now with COVID-19. So just being able to help people in a kind of multitude of ways and to just I have a website that you can reach out to or look at if there is any interest in kind of reading some of the blogs and materials that I have there, as well as people can follow me kind of on Instagram or
What
Facebook.
give us all the names and everything.
Yeah, yeah. So on Instagram, it is at sunflowers.in.sunshowers. And on Facebook, I have a business page, which is just Sunflowers in Sunshowers. And then my website is sunflowersandsunshowers.com. So, yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, I'm so excited, and we're also doing a giveaway. So I'm giving away one brand strategy session coaching call. And then what are you giving away?
I'm doing my 3 free coaching sessions actually, and I'm really, really excited about that.
So fun. So how you can enter is we try to make it as simple as possible because I know y'all are busy and have lives and stuff. Um, but I also know that this will really help you too. So what you would just do is you can go to either one of our pages and you'll see a graphic that says Instacast giveaway. And you just like that photo, tag 2 friends, and follow each one of us. So very simple, very short, very sweet. And then we will be picking a winner, and I will be announcing it on my page, which I'm sure you'll probably announce it on your page as well.
Yes,
But
yeah, exactly.
yes, so you'll have today and tomorrow to hop on there and see if you can win. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Nikki, for coming on.
Thank you so
And
much for having me, Hannah.
yes, I will talk to you soon, girl.
Yeah, talk to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.